Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it is your girl, Christiana Faye. So thank you guys so much. If you are new, hello. If you're a returning subscriber, hey. So I just want to address something real quick from my previous video. The audio was like all over the place from my last Love is Blind review, and I'm so sorry guys. I did not know the audio was like that until I saw a comment. But thank God my boyfriend was able to help me fix the issue with the mic. So going forward, you can now hear the video in both headphones. So yeah. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about the couples that lasted, that did not last. And I wanted to talk about my theories and my predictions for the reunion. Okay, the first couple I want to talk about is Kenneth and Britney. So I just want to throw it out there. I am Christian, and when I see other Christians go on this show and they're like, God told me to come on this show, I'm like, did God really tell you to like come on national television to find love with a stranger and to possibly marry them? I don't know, man. I always just find that so interesting. But my first impressions of Britney and Kenneth, I was like, oh, they're a nice couple. I thought it was very interesting how when they were in the pause, they asked about race. I was like, why are we asking about race? I just hate any time when someone asks about like a physical attribute about the other person, because I'm just like, it's not giving Love is Blind. It's giving, I want to know what you look like. I thought they were really cute, that they were vibing. I was like, okay, so he's the good Christian man. She's the good Christian woman. When they met, they looked like they were really vibing. Kenneth really looked like he found her attractive, and Britney thought that he was attractive as well. Now, with the whole Britney and Kenneth thing, we know they don't end up together. And when I tell you, I was genuinely so shocked by Kenneth's 180, because I was just like, what happened? I don't know if this show edited him so much to make him look like a crazy person, but I'm just like, you could clearly tell he was not feeling Britney at all when they were on that boat and they were just sitting there like, y'all, it was so awkward for me. Like, I think I was like scrolling on my phone, you know, and I ended up looking up at the TV because I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like, why are they just sitting there so weird? And another thing that I want to mention is that they are both pretty young. I think they're like 24, 26, somewhere between that age. I'm like, that's also really young to go on a reality TV show, in my opinion, to find love. I don't know, because I'm 26 and I think I'm a little too unserious, and that's just my opinion on myself. So I can only imagine other people that are my age that think that their emotional intelligence is just so high. I'm just like, I cannot. But yeah, basically, Kenneth was not feeling Britney, and I don't know if it's because of that whole AD and Kenneth situation that happened at that awkward behind barbecue, which we're gonna like hit it here and there. But yeah, I don't know if he like kind of felt like, oh damn, maybe I really didn't think about dating a white girl, or he just realized white women aren't his preference. I'm not gonna get into like what his preference is, because the tea on the internet is that he likes the men's. If he does, cool, that's his prerogative. I will say that I find it very interesting sometimes when some of these men come on these shows and it's very obvious that they are in the closet and they're going on these shows to be with women. You always kind of get outed, because once you put yourself on like that public platform, like people are gonna clock you and have something to say. I just found it very interesting how he just broke up with Britney like that, and Britney was trying so hard, y'all. She was trying to be that housewife that she said she was gonna be in the pod. She came straight into the house after the honeymoon. She was ready to cook for him. She was ready to clean for him. She was ready to organize the bathroom, and he was just on his phone like, I probably would have threw the phone at the wall, because no. For the reunion, this is what Kenneth is wearing. He's definitely giving principal. Okay. The suit is suiting. I like the little hand claps. It's definitely giving preacher's kid. That's cute. Let's see what Britney is wearing. I thought Britney was so freaking pretty. Like, oh! Britney is giving body yaddy 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 yaddy. Britney is giving body yaddy 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 yaddy. Britney looks so beautiful. I really love this dress on Britney. It's giving revenge dress. It's giving Princess Diana. Now, do I think this couple is going to be together after the show? Like, are they going to show up hands in hand at the reunion? Absolutely not. Let's talk about Laura and Jeremy. When I tell you, I was not a fan of Laura at all. Like, oh my gosh. I don't, once again, I'm judging her from the person that we see on the show. I don't know if she was edited so horribly, but y'all, even when she was in the pods, she was giving messy. And I feel like on the show, she was such a mean girl, especially talking to Jeremy, the whole bean dip moment. And then even at the barbecue, when Jeremy and Sarah Ann showed up and she was talking to the girls and she was just like, F him, nobody should talk to him, he's not a real man. And then when she cussed him out and told him to go kick rocks with open-toed shoes, I was like, oh my gosh, like, she is definitely a mean girl. I think even Trevor, like in the sidelines, like they picked up the audio. Trevor was like, Laura was my number one, or like, no, Laura's like my number two, but like Laura's kind of mean. And I'm like, Laura is freaking mean. I did not get the connection with Laura and Jeremy in the pods. I genuinely thought that Jeremy was gonna pick Sarah, and they really vibed so much. They were both like so quirky, had like almost like the same mannerisms. I don't want to get too much into that because I was about to start talking about them too. But once they got out of the pods, I was like, okay, I don't know if this is going to work. Jeremy does not look like her type. She was talking about, I think his Hawaii shirts or something like that. And she was like, oh, why do you have Hawaii shirts? And he was just like, because like I like wearing Hawaii shirts. And I was like, yeah, like what type of question is that? Clearly the man likes to wear Hawaiian shirts. So yeah, once they get to like their honeymoon, I'm still not catching the vibe between them, but they did do the do. They meshed, they laid, they bumped, and they grinded. Clearly, I guess it had to be good enough because Laura was at that barbecue like, yeah, girl, we laid it down. Yeah, you know we did. So now let's talk about the moment at the barbecue with the whole bean dip thing. So when the whole bean dip thing happened, I was just really confused watching it for the first time. I had to rewind it because I'm like, bean dip? What is that? I did not understand it until Jeremy was like, yeah, he told me to like bean dip you, and like, I guess everybody knew. And then AD was like, no, you didn't. You better not do it. I'm going to fight you. Clay got offended. Laura was low key like mad that Clay got offended. And I'm like, Laura, you're weird. Laura was so weird for that. I'm like, why would you tell your fiance to flick another woman's breasts? Why would you tell your fiance, your new fiance, you don't even know this man like that? Like, this is basically a stranger still. You feel comfortable enough to tell him to flick another woman's breast as a joke? And now, Jeremy, why did you repeat it? Like, I don't know. They were just both weird as hell for that. Cause I'm like, even if Laura told him that in confidence as a joke, right? I'm like, Jeremy, why would you then bring it to the group? Like, what was that about? Like, there's just certain things I would have just kept that between like me and my fiance. And we were like, bro, you're mad weird for that. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Clay, rightfully so, as he should have been offended because I did not get the joke. I'm like, did you tell Jeremy to flick anyone else's boobs? And then she tried to play it off like, no, I did not tell him that. Da, 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 da. And I think the other girl, I think Amy, I think it was Amy. I think she was like, no, yeah, you did mention it. So then I had to go to Google. The whole bean dipping thing is like flick of the nipple. I don't know if I can say that. But yeah, the flick of the nipple. And then I was really confused. I'm just like, what? Why are we talking about this? Like that whole interaction, it was very strange to watch. I'm surprised Netflix actually filmed that. Cause I was just like, that's SA. We're making light of SA. Child, I guess AD was all smiling about it. Cool, whatever. They moved on. Laura was pissed. She basically called Jeremy immature. Jeremy said he wants to go home. Laura was like, do you mean the hotel home or do you mean home? Jeremy was like, I want to go home. I was like, oh, well, damn. This went downhill pretty fast. When Laura went to Jeremy's house, she was like, oh, your house is like too clean. I thought she was like low-key judging him for that too. I just always felt like anytime Laura said anything to Jeremy, it was kind of judgmental. Like there was always a layer of judgment. Like even if she said like, you know how you could tell someone like, oh, you look nice today. Like I feel like if Laura said that to Jeremy, like she's saying, oh, you finally look nice today. You dusty, da 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 da, da finally looking good, not wearing that damn Hawaiian shirt. I feel like that's always the tone whenever she spoke to Jeremy. It was definitely giving like nagging mom / mean girl. He went to meet her parents. I think her parents or her dad was like, oh, don't let her like run over you or something like that. And then she brought up the awkward moment of him not picking Sarah Ann and picking her and saying they were in some weird triangle. I'm like, why would you bring that up to your parents? Why do you hate this man so much? Why do you hate him so much? Because I'm just like, why would you ever bring this up to your parents? And this is the first time they're meeting this man that's a stranger that you're marrying supposedly in about 2 to 4 weeks. Let's get into the whole location drop and the whole Sarah Ann thing, child. I'm gonna just say, Jeremy, you was dead wrong for that. Jeremy, you were dead wrong for that. There's no excuse for you to be with your ex at 2, 3 a.m. at all, trying to get closure. I don't believe it. I feel like they did do something, and I do feel like Jeremy shared his location as a backup to be like, oh yeah, but I shared my location, so I wasn't really doing anything. But him getting caught with the location at the house, I don't know what that was about. Maybe, I don't know. But either way, he should not have been at Sarah Ann's house. He shouldn't even have liked that message that Sarah Ann sent him. That was so weird. I'm like, why are you liking that? That definitely kept the door open. And Sarah Ann, you were also dead wrong too for sending that DM. It doesn't matter if this was the type of experience where, oh, you're just shooting your shot because it's different. No. If you knew that well that in the pause that he was leaving that door open and you knew he wasn't going to work it out with Laura, or like that was just doomed, you could have just waited. You could have waited. But I'm like, you sent that immediately when you came home? Like you got off the plane and got on your phone and was ready to choose violence and tell this man that you ready whenever he ready? You was wrong for that, sis. Like he was engaged. You was wrong for that. I also don't think that Sarah Ann should be judged so harshly. I feel like all of the smoke should definitely be for Jeremy. Jeremy was the one that was engaged to Laura. The ball was definitely in his court. Obviously, him and Laura didn't work out. Personally, I don't think they were going to work out, and I think he knew that they weren't going to work out. I just don't think that AD should have came at Sarah the way that AD did. I don't think that was AD's place at all. I think if anyone should have come at Sarah Ann like that, it should have been Laura. And from what we saw, Laura ain't have nothing to say to Sarah Ann. Laura was just sitting there running her jibs, just judging them as they talking. Anytime they weren't in the same circle as her, she's just like making snarky comments. She didn't have nothing to say to Sarah Ann. So I'm just like, AD, why did you have something to say that bad? I feel like AD had more pressing issues to worry about with her man instead of worrying about what Sarah Ann and Jeremy were doing. That's my opinion. Obviously, I do not think they're going to be together after the show, after the reunion. I genuinely think Laura did not like this man from the start. She was not feeling him. She didn't respect him, anything like that. Jeremy was just way too jokey. And Jeremy, you was dead wrong for texting and being with Sarah Ann. But let's get into what they look like at the reunion. Laura, you are whack. She's not at the reunion. I don't believe she's in Spain just because of work. I think she intentionally skipped out. I wish they made it a fact for them to be at the reunion. I just hate when you just do all this foolishness and then you don't show up when it's like actually the time to get the real tea, the real answers for the audience. It's just so whack. Ugh. Jeremy in this damn Hawaiian shirt. Okay. It's definitely giving Jeremy. Jeremy looks like Jeremy, I guess, but whatever. Let's talk about Chelsea and Jimmy. Man, like I said in my last video, that couple really gave me whiplash. Every time I looked, they was breaking up. Every time I looked, they was arguing. Every time I looked, Chelsea was doing the most. Every time I looked, I just saw Megan Fox in my brain. I'm just like, I cannot take these two seriously. Yo, with the whole Chelsea, Jimmy, Trevor, and what's that girl named Jessica square thing, rectangle that was going on in the pods, I was like, that was really good. I don't think I've ever been like this close on the edge of my seats to see who was going to pick two. I'll give season 6 that. I find it very interesting that as soon as Chelsea said she looked like Megan Fox, I feel like that's when Jimmy checked out of Jessica. I think Jimmy was really feeling Jessica until she finally revealed that she had a kid. I think Jessica definitely should have mentioned that to Jimmy, because I think after she mentioned that, that changed Jimmy's mind. I don't know. I saw it through the TV screen. I was like, he not ready to be nobody daddy. Like, Jimmy is not giving, I'm ready to be a daddy. And I wish he just could have been honest about that from the beginning instead of dragging on the relationship with Jessica. Once Jimmy and Chelsea got together, I thought once they met the first time, Jimmy was just very underwhelmed because he probably actually thought he was going to see someone that looked like Megan Fox. And Chelsea is beautiful, let me say that, but this girl does not give Megan Fox. I really wish she did not even say that, because she truly played herself. And the people who tell her that she looks like Megan Fox also played her too. Because let me tell you this, when I was in high school, I used to always get that I look like Kelly Rowland. Like, don't ask me why. Back in high school, I used to always have a bang and stuff like that. I feel like that's the only reason why people told me I look like Kelly Rowland, because I had a bang and I'm dark skinned. I don't see anything about Kelly Rowland on my face, and I know y'all don't either. But can you imagine if I let that go to my big old forehead and I was just walking around and every time somebody asks me, oh, who you look like? And I'm just like, Kelly Rowland. It's giving delusional. Like, there's just certain things you just keep in your brain. And I found it so funny when he was in his confessionals and he was like, oh, well, she definitely lied about her looks. I was like, oh, no. I was like, that's why she should have kept it to herself. And the way she ran to that man. She was too excited. She ran to him in heels, and he just kept slow walking to her. I'm like, oh, how embarrassing. How embarrassing. Once they get to the honeymoon, Chelsea is a very, very insecure girl in the show. I'm going to keep saying this. She was very insecure. I felt like she was just waiting for Jamie to just bring up Jess, because she kept bringing up Jess, this and that. And then Jimmy brought up the fact that Jess said, oh, you're going to need an EpiPen. And then Chelsea was like, oh, well, why would she say that? I really think that Chelsea was jealous of Jessica, and she only wanted Jimmy as a get back. Let's get into the barbecue scene again, because it's like so many things happened at this barbecue. It's crazy. So at the barbecue, everyone is like hugged up, booed up. Tell me why Jimmy decides to tell Chelsea, oh, AD's booty is fat. He tells this to Chelsea, and Chelsea is just like, what? Yeah, it is fat. Yeah. AD, how you get a butt so big like that? I was like, what is wrong with her? When she did that, I knew she was so insecure, and I saw that exactly for what it was. Jimmy said something that obviously he should not have said. If I was her, maybe I would be a little bit hurt by it, but she reacted to that in an insecure way and tried to play it off, and she did way too much by screaming to AD, how you get a butt like that? My man just over here staring at your butt. AD is just like, shaking her little butt, showing them, yeah, squats in Jesus, girl, squats in Jesus. That whole scene was crazy. So now Jimmy goes over to talk to AD about how her butt is so big and how he just want to slap it up. Okay, he didn't say that. But no, they end up talking, and Jimmy is just like, it was a joke, da-da-da-da-da, but how are you? And they're talking. I definitely feel like they were flirting a little bit, maybe unintentionally, because I think AD naturally gives off that energy, because I know sometimes for me, I can give off that energy too, but I really don't mean it. I don't know what it is. And you just have to know when to like reel it back and just be mindful when you're in situations. That's all I'll say about that. Chelsea, she was looking at Jimmy. She was like standing right there. She looks like a creep. She's just like this. And it says AD and Jimmy. Yeah, yeah. So then Chelsea is just like, oh, you're so rude. You were talking to her. You made me uncomfy. This is all when they get back to the hotel. Chelsea is going off, and Jimmy is just like, girl, what are you talking about? You're the one who went up to this woman and said her butt was fat. And even when I was talking to her, we wasn't talking about nothing crazy. We were talking about you. And she's like, yeah, but all the other couples, they're just around hugging and kissing and this and that. And you weren't really with me. You're over there talking to another girl in front of me. I'm like, oh, from that moment, I'm like, Jimmy, leave this woman. She is so insecure. And this is only on the honeymoon. So when Jimmy and Chelsea actually ended up breaking up, I was so happy. I actually truly supported the decision. I felt like they were both not ready for marriage. I think they were both very kind of immature. They probably weren't honest with their feelings when it came to each other and being ready for marriage in general. I think Chelsea was dead wrong for mentioning what him and Chelsea spoke about off camera in regards to his best friend, because she blurted it out. I know you effed her, because they use it as the whole preview. I'm like, these producers are so messy. In my opinion, I probably would have left her right then and there. But in that moment when they had that initial argument, Jimmy was like, oh, I forgive you. It's cool. But obviously it wasn't cool, because when he broke up with her, he mentioned that as like one of the big reasons why he broke up with her, because he felt like Chelsea was trying to embarrass him, embarrass the best friend, and that he couldn't trust her, basically. And I also try not to go on social media and look at them as I watch the episode, especially for the first time. But I ended up seeing something on Instagram that Chelsea posted. Chelsea just seems very immature. That's all I'm gonna say. Like that person that's just like, yeah, I got a whole bunch of problems. Woo-hoo, like, look at me, toxic. That's the energy Chelsea gives me from her Instagram. And I'm just like, let's get into how they look at the reunion. Okay. Jimmy looks cool. He looks regular. I like the suit. I think Jimmy is very handsome, by the way. I see a lot of people that's like, oh, Jimmy is just like not that good looking. I think Jimmy is very handsome, but I don't know. That's just me. Let's get into Chelsea. Okay. I like it. It's okay. It's okay. She doesn't look bad, but this looks like something that Chelsea would wear. Yeah. Next, Amy and Johnny. What is there to really say about Amy and Johnny? I feel like from the beginning of the show, Amy and Johnny, I knew they were going to be that one couple that was going to make it. And they were also going to be so boring. Guys, when I tell you I was just so bored, I just generally remember me skipping through scenes with Amy and Johnny. And I think that's a good thing. Like, but sometimes, we need that one couple that's just like so stable. You just don't want to watch them, but you still kind of do just to see that they're going to make it. I genuinely feel like that they came on the show for the right reasons. I hope nothing comes out about them, because I would be so sad. Amy just seems like a lovely girl. The only thing that they really dealt with was the whole birth control thing, which I found so funny. I was like, the fact that they ain't got nothing else to argue about, no other drama, but if she's getting on birth control or not is crazy. Then also Amy's dad giving his blessing to Johnny. I saw a snippet of something that she posted on Instagram that was like, obviously like the whole conversation wasn't showed on, screen of what they were talking about. Like, it was way more in depth than what they showed. And, I supported it. I was like, that was a really good conversation to have, because I know there's generally some men that just think that women should just get on birth control and that's just the end all be all, when it's like, no, there's some other things you can do. Like a man can get a vasectomy, or you can use condoms, which is not always 100%, or you could do abstinence, because even if you do all of these methods, there's still a chance that you can have kids with birth controls. Nothing is 100% except for abstinence, which obviously that's not an option, because they clearly wanted to knock boots and they're going to be married. So yeah, I just really like that they handled that so well. And I just hope that they're continuing to handle it so well. And Johnny and Amy, they get their babies in the very far future like they want. Let's get into how they look. Johnny looks like Johnny. He looks really regular. I love Johnny's like tousled hair. Like, I just love that about guys, like when I see that. And I like his hair color. I like the beard. Johnny's also very good looking. to me too. Let's get to Amy. Amy looks good. This is her color red. Amy is definitely giving spicy. She looks like a jalapeno. Like, Amy looks good. Last but not least, child, let's talk about Clay and AD. Woo! I feel like I could do a whole separate video on Clay and AD, which I might do, because I don't even think I'm going to address everything that I want to address in this video because I don't want it to be too long. So I think I might do another separate video for Clay and AD. But child, from the beginning, I was like, AD, why did you pick this man? AD, you need to be in therapy. AD, you are not ready for marriage. AD, why are you chasing after men? Why? I don't know where to start with these two, because I just feel like I don't know where to start with them, where I went wrong, because it just went wrong immediately from the beginning. So I don't even remember like which came first. But for me, it was his reaction when AD told Clay that she had a connection with Crazy Matthew, and he went nuts. He was like, what? Oh my effing gosh. Like, I was like, calm down. It was never that serious. Calm down. I didn't like his comment when he was like, oh, that's not really going to be a match for you or something like that. I was like, why would you do that? Like, I didn't like that. I feel like AD and Clay trauma bonded. I feel like AD is that type of girl that feels like she can fix a man for her and that man will stay with her because of that. And I feel like that never actually works. I feel like it does the opposite. You end up helping the man to be the person that he wants to become, and then he leaves you and he's going to be that picture perfect man you wanted him to be for you. He's going to be that for someone else. So when Clay said he's never been to therapy, he likes to be babied, he was just saying a whole lot of stuff. I'm like, AD, why you want to pick this man? And then when he was like, he's not going to propose if he's not for sure on what she looks like, on the show called Love is Blind, I'm like, did he sign a dotted line with his eyes closed? Because I'm just like, sir, did you forget what show you were on? I did not think that Clay was attracted to AD at all. I don't care what anyone says. I do not believe it. One time Clay mentioned, oh, he doesn't know why they should be getting married by like a certain time frame, like at the end of the show. And once again, I'm just like, did you not know what show you came on? He mentioned his daddy cheating on his mama 50 million times. And when they had that first conversation, I was like, is he really prepping her to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to cheat on you. Don't worry. This is what you should see in your future. Because I'm just like, why are you that worried about cheating on someone because of what your dad did all these years ago? Because at his big old age, I'm just like, sir, you most definitely need to be in therapy if your excuse for being scared to get married is cheating because of what your daddy did. Like, be for real. And AD, once again, why are you just so willing to be like, yeah, you know, I'll help you with that. Right now, I think you just need me a little bit more. And there's going to be a time when I need you a little bit more. But right now, it's your turn. We're just focused on you and helping you grow. And Clay is like, yeah, I like that. I'm like, AD, why are you building this man up? Why are you building and creating this man? No. AD, if you didn't, I need you to send Clay an invoice, okay? For the emotional damage that he put you through and for you acting like a therapist to him. I hope he pays you for that. They were also very annoying to me as well. I just want Love is Blind to do better when it comes to people like this, because I feel like these people, I really and truly feel like they are picking men like Clay and they are intentionally putting them on these shows to wreak havoc in these women's lives. That's all I'm gonna say about AD and Clay right now, because like I said, I can make a whole separate video and I feel like this video is already way too long. But let's get into what they look like at the reunion. Ow! AD looks beautiful. I love this dress. I wish I could wear something like this. I feel like AD, she never misses. Let's go to Clay. Clay looks regular in his suit. I just don't like Clay. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, do I think that they're still together? Did she stay with him after he said, I do not? I think so. AD definitely gave that she was still going to be with this man. She was going to stick with him and try to change his damn mind and show him that she could be the wife that he wants and he can be the man that she knows he can be. I don't think Clay likes her, so I don't think that if they did get back together, they stayed together, because I don't think he liked her. But I do wish them the best. I really hope Clay heals from this and he don't play with people's feelings like this ever again, and he gets over his mommy and daddy issues and they go to family therapy, because clearly they need it. And I just hope AD realizes that she's that girl and that she also heals too, and she just realizes she doesn't need to build a man and that she is enough. She's more than enough for the right man, and the right man will never have her going through all of the stuff that she went through with Clay. Now, comment down below your opinions, your thoughts on these couples, on my commentary. If I missed anything, if I misspoke about something, comment down below and let me know. And make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay updated. I'm really going to try to post at least 4 times a week, and I'm really going to stay on top of this Love is Blind news. Okay? Bye, guys.